So here's a little update on the John Deere 140. Well, I hooked up the blade there when the snow fell about 5 days ago, and I don't know how I managed to do it, but I actually hooked these. There's only 4 lines, and somehow I screwed up the hooking up of them. So I had like one line from that cylinder going to this side, the other side to that side, and the same on the other, which I didn't realize. So the functionality wasn't working, but what that did was it built up and created a whole shitload of pressure on this line here that was sitting down inside there, where there's a lot of debris and grass and dirt built up. Let me show you on the other side real quick. Down in there, as you can imagine, on the other side, it's too dark to see in there, but it was fully packed in and very moist, and so it's been corroding that line for a long time. And so lo and behold, what it did was it caused that thing to blow out. So I've got this line removed now. I'm going to take it down and right down through there, pinholes, corrosion, and I'm either going to just splice in a repair with the union or something. Now another interesting thing is, even though I replaced the fluid in there, it still was very milky and aerated, and I'm imagining that it was because of that pinhole in there that was sucking air in or allowing air to get into the system. You can kind of see it down in there a little bit, not very well, but and now that I got the lines connected correctly, maybe we'll actually get to use that thing for some snow removal on the next storm. Now, one thing that I need to do is add a pretty big ballast in the back. And so what I'm planning to do is, as kind of a temporary makeshift situation, is fashion up a way to mount this onto the back, this basket onto the back, with some plate steel bolting into those bolt holes and whatnot onto the hitch there, maybe some more pieces of metal, and then probably fill that basket up, that metal basket, with some bricks or something. I'd like to get some wheel weights, but I can't see myself spending that kind of money on wheel weights. That's ridiculous. $30 to $40 a piece maybe I would be willing to pay. I think they want like $80 a piece or something, I'm not really sure, but anyway, it'd be nice to be able to actually put this thing to use, and we'll put the snow chains on it as well. Okay, well, I only made the trip up to the local hardware store here in the valley. I didn't make it all the way down into Ogden, and so I didn't go to a hydraulic shop. I'm not going to visit John Deere because they're forever away. And so all I could try to find was some unions here, but I couldn't really find any that were going to be the right size. It's for some reason not going to be 3/8, it's not going to be 1/4. So what we're going to try to do is clean this up. We're going to clean it up real good with wire brush, and we're going to try to seal it with some JB Weld. So I've succeeded with this method on a handful of times on this truck right here. Repair air conditioning, aluminum air conditioning lines on this truck on 2 different occasions. Pinhole repairs, and I think it'll work just fine to do it on this thing today. Oh man, we have still yet to actually get workbenches set up in here. We're working on it, we're getting there. Busy guy. Got it pretty well cleaned up. I think we will sand it down a little bit, and then fortunately we've got some spray on John Deere official green paint, but we're just going to repair these little pinholes right here. But otherwise, this thing's a quality, solid. The ends are really in great shape. A solid original factory part, so it doesn't make a whole lot of sense to try to reinvent the wheel, try to reinvent the tube, as it were, just for the sake of a couple little holes. All right, well, good morning, friends. So last night got this thing coated with JB Weld, and also prior to doing that we treated it with the metal prep, which helps kind of etch the metal so the paint will stick to it and so that the JB Weld would stick to it. So this area here was I laid it on pretty thick there. It's got to be a millimeter or more thick. And this stuff it'll set up in about 4 to 5 hours or something, but it needs about 24 plus hours to actually cure. So I'm going to set it out here in the sunshine for the rest of today, and hopefully that hardens up a little bit, and then we'll take the sandpaper to it, smooth it down, kind of shape it back to normal shape, and then we will paint it. And I have full confidence that's going to resolve the problem permanently. There we go. That thing is absolutely good enough to paint and stick underneath the tractor. Won't ever even be seen. Later that day, you can see the line turned out just fine. It's going to be hidden underneath the thing anyway, so we're just about to install it, top off the fluid, pressurize it, and hope she runs. All right, you guys, check it out. So we're going to wrap up this hydraulic line repair, but I brought it out here to work with me to build this ballast box, which is a pretty simple design as for now, just some 3/16 angle iron fashioned in a way that when you take out that bolt that holds the tiller on and whatnot, if you orient it like this, then the subframe supports the weight of that angle iron. If it really, and it only has to use that one bolt, it could actually lift up a little bit if it weren't for these bolts here, in case it, hit a rock or something, or hit a bad angle, it could lift up. But if these prove to not be tough enough, those pretty substantial angle irons there, we'll just beef up that angle iron to a little bit bigger pieces. But this is an old milk crate that I got from Grandpa, and I'm gonna get them both all painted. But this thing right here, this anvil, which I plan to make at a railroad, is 50 pounds. So shit, if I had 3 of those, I'd have 150 pounds back here. And I'm still on the search for some proper weight to put in there, some lifting weights, some cast iron or steel weights for exercise weights or something like that to put in there. But everybody wants a damn arm and a leg. It's like they want $1 a pound. Are you kidding me? Pay you $100 for 100 pounds of that shit? Maybe if I was buying it brand new. So anyway, this basket's gonna work pretty good. It's pretty sound. I can stand on it. And like, it supports 205 pounds without even flexing at all. So I don't know, having this basket here, we'll be able to load it up with sand, bags of sand. Maybe I'll build a concrete ballast in it, but I don't want to totally make no more use of this. So I can still use that in the summertime or whatever. But a couple bolts, a little chunk of aluminum, and that's working for that. And also, I think I'm gonna clean this piece up and bolt it on the back here somehow as a way to hang suitcase weights off of or something. But I'm imagining you could probably hang suitcase weights off the side here too. Might have to reinforce this a little bit, but I think all told, once it's done, it'll probably have a couple 100 pounds on there, just off of stuff I had laying around the house. I would like to buy some wheel weights, but again, it's probably gonna be $200 in wheel weights before I can actually get those done. So If you got any wheel weights for sale for a reasonable price, let me know. We're gonna look down in here, and yeah, the repair is holding. It's not leaking, so that's nice. And see if the camera will cooperate here. New painted lines down there, and it's nice and dry. So we get the line going all the way back to there, and then all the way up here. So after I repaired that and put the line back on, I let the tractor run a little bit, and I hadn't had a chance to pressure wash out that crevice, so it still had all this grass, saturated hydraulic fluid, saturated grass and stuff in there. So I fire it up, let it run around, let it warm up, and then the damn thing's dripping like mad out of the bottom. So I was pretty sure that I had failed to actually repair the thing. So I brought it all the way out here to work so that I could spend some more time on it, and took it to the pressure washer, cleaned it up, and then I've run it through its paces, and sure enough, that line is repaired. It's not leaking. And once I got all that saturated oil grass out of there, no more drips. So that's fantastic. But we are going to address a couple of these, all four of these actually, fittings, because I do have a little bit of seepage coming out of there. In fact, I think that it's still potentially aerating the fluid, a little bit of air bubbles. So I picked up these O-rings at the local hardware store. Unfortunately, they only had 4 of them, but I just popped one of them out of one of the older ones out of the rear, took it down, sized it up, and sure enough, they got the correct size O-rings. So let's get those things installed, and this thing will be back in business. Put the grill back on, and it's donezo. Put the tire chains on. I brought those out here. Haven't installed those before. So between the tire chains and some sort of ballast in the back, this thing should be ready for snow pushing duties ASAP. I think they're just old and hard. So really hoping that this will resolve all that. And then we'll take a little bit of they're really not in that bad a shape, but they're a little on the hard side. But we will take some Scotch-Brite pad to the, yeah, they're hard enough to probably be causing a leak. A couple of them anyway. Got some new grease for the grease guns, but I want to run through the grease that I have in them first. But I think we'll just go ahead and apply a little bit of this delicious green grease right here on these little guys. Even their grease is green. How about that? There we go. Slide that bad boy in there. I don't know, you could put oil on it, hydraulic fluid, grease, whatever you got. I've even used chapstick in the past if I had to, when I was in a pinch. Very nice. Big one on the bottom is what I was using to remember. Okay, let's test these out before I change out the other side, and we'll call that a wrap. Job well done. All right, thanks for watching. We'll see you on the next video.